The mayor of Austin is apologizing for traveling to Mexico with a group of people and hosting his daughter's wedding. This comes as top officials urge families not to gather with others outside of their household due to coronavirus concerns. Tony Slotsky has more.
For months, Austin Mayor Steve Adler has taken to Facebook Live most nights to keep the community informed about the spread of COVID-19.
And in fact,
but as he issued this message on the night of November 9th,
and we need to, stay home if you can.
He was doing it from a timeshare in Cabo San Lucas.
This is not the time to relax. We're going to be looking really close.
The mayor confirms he was there on vacation with 8 people, including immediate and extended family, after flying on a private jet. 2 days earlier, Adler hosted a wedding and reception at a South Congress hotel for his daughter with 20 family members and other guests. At the time, Austin was under Stage 3 guidelines, which suggest no gatherings of more than 10 people. The mayor says he consulted with Austin's top health authority, Dr. Mark Escott. Adler says he held the event outdoors, and guests had to maintain social distance. He said the bride and groom gave out masks, although he says not everyone wore them the entire time. And everyone had to get a COVID-19 test prior to attending. Several wedding attendees flew to Austin from across the U.S., including a Seattle-based wedding photographer.
Infections that could happen, but what we did is we stayed compliant with the rules.
The next day, 8 of those attendees, including Adler and both immediate and extended family members, departed for their trip to Cabo. The day after they left, Dr. Escott issued this public warning.
If you're going to go out to a restaurant, go out with your family, the people who live in your household, not with family and friends outside of your household. Start to decrease those travels outside your home that are not necessary.
Under the governor's executive orders for the state, which supersede any local guidelines, quote, wedding receptions held outdoors are strongly recommended and are not subject to an occupancy limit. The week after Adler returned, on November 19th, the city raised the threat levels to Stage 4, with recommendations against travel and gathering with people outside your household.
The actions of the Austin mayor comes 1 week after Williamson County Judge Bill Gravelli paid a $1,000 fine for violating his own stay-at-home order in March. However, the mayor did not violate any order or law. He says no one tested positive following the wedding and that he does not think he took a test, but he quarantined.